Huh?
Hi.
What? Really hurt.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Ana. Ano? All right, can we start now? All right. All right. Last meeting now, we end na with accounting cycle, no? So that's basically a parang first part no of the accounting cycle. Pero for me na nakita ko sa syllabus, we have also uh, accounting for merchandising also. And then also we have also accounting information system before we go to inventory, sorry, before we go to the property, plant, and equipment. So today, what I will discuss is all about accounting for merchandising, di ba? In our first, I think in the first 4 weeks or 5 weeks, no, we discussed about accounting for trading. Sorry, accounting for service, wherein only sales and sorry, only revenue and expenses, di ba? What do you mean, sir, of merchandising? Meaning, you have now your inventory, then you sell it. Okay, so parang buy and sell, no? Like buy and sell, you purchase particular inventory, then you sell it at a markup. That's basically a merchandise inventory or inventory. Okay? All right. So this is my by the way, my I am using this now for the past 5 years now. I am using the book of Wiley. All right. So today, I will discuss about no yeah. So we are done with the service company, and now we will discuss about the inventory and merchandising. Also about no the entries in terms of purchase and in a perpetual inventory system. There are two kinds of inventory system in inventory. You have perpetual and you have your periodic. Okay? Yeah, perpetual and periodic. Okay? So meaning number four is sorry, it should be perpetual and periodic. Number four is explain the steps in terms of accounting cycle. So we are done with the accounting cycle, but this it is more on parang ano lang review, no? But it is part of the uh, inventory and merchandising. Okay. And number five, I will discuss also no the difference between multi-step and single-step income statement. Okay. Then also explain the computations for the gross profit. What is the formula to compute for the gross profit? All right. And all right. So preview and of our discussion, 'di ba? Basically, no, again, in the inventory of the merchandising, yes, we will discuss about operating cycles. We will discuss about the inventory system. We'll also discuss about the purchase merchandise. What if you have returns and allowances, you have a freight cost, and you have a purchase discount? Because if you bought one particular inventory, you will consider any returns and allowances, 'di ba? Kasi there are times na inferior quality, no, you order a product which is not similar to what you are ordering, right? Also you are purchasing a materials missing, no, you order 10 pieces, and then you just and then it came only for, let's say, 5 pieces or 8 pieces. Okay, and also you will consider also freight costs. Okay, so meaning any cost in terms of transportation, diba? So any cost intended for the inventories, no, parang to arrive, no, in your warehouse, especially the freight costs. Right? And also, you have discount, diba? When you purchase one particular company, very important to consider discount also. All right, yan, ulit lang. Same lang. Also, in terms of the sales, no, as you noticed, the ISA, no, in our trading company, sorry, in a service company, what we are using is the revenue account, right? If you notice, no, diba? What we are using is the revenue. But in terms of the merchandising, we will use the sales, no, the term sales. Yan. So sales is basically part of the merchandising. All right. Also, you have also allowances and returns in terms of your sales, and you have also sales discount. Yan. And also, accounting cycle, same pa din. You have your adjusting entries, closing, and you have the summary. So it is basically part of our discussion in our trading company. All right. Also, I will discuss about the multi-step and the single-step income statement and classified balance sheet. All right. Number one, no, objective of number one, no, what do you mean, or the difference between the service company and the merchandising company? No? So we are done with the trading, with the with the service, no. So in terms of the merchandising, again, you buy and you sell and you earn a profit, meaning you buy at a cost and you sell it at a markup, you earn a profit, no. So wholesalers sell to retailers, yan, right? Retailers sell to the consumers, yan. So the merchandiser's primary sources of, or the source of revenue, is sales. Right? So again, sales is the term used in the inventory for merchandising. Right? All right. How about net income? Okay. So net income are divided into two categories. No? So expenses pala, sorry. You have your cost of goods sold, okay? And you have your expenses. All right. What do you mean, sir, of the cost of goods sold? So later, we will discuss cost of goods sold. Number two, we are done with this, diba? Um in our service company. Now, all your expenses are part of the expenses in operating. All right. Meaning, cost of goods sold is basically your cost of merchandise sold during the period. Okay? Sa Tagalog, na ibenta mo. Okay? So, that's the cost of merchandise sold during the period. All right. While expenses naman as part of the operating is the expenses automatically part of your income statement and charged outright as part of the expense. While cost of goods sold, hindi na muna, it is part of the inventory first, and then pag naibenta na, will become part of the cost of goods sold. Yan. All right, gross profit, by the way, is sales minus cost of goods sold is equal to your is equal to your gross profit. Again, gross profit is sales revenue or revenue less cost of goods sold is equal to your gross profit. All right. So far clear? All right, so far clear, ha? All right. If you have question, just chat lang, no? Okay. All right. So in terms of the income statement, as discussed in our service company, is only, 'di ba, revenue lang, no? 'Di ba, job, no? Revenue. If you remember last meeting, tama ba, Bogs? I set na ba the recording? Not yet.
Double check ko, sir.
Parang hindi pa, no? I think I believe, no, I set now sa Google Drive, no. Alright, sige. Later, no. Alright. Sales, no? What we did last time is sales minus expenses. You have your net income. Yeah? That's basically your service company. But how about in terms of the merchandising? No, ito yung bago, no? Sales revenue minus cost of goods sold, you have your gross profit. So meaning this is the new thing or the new account titles to be used or used in the merchandising company. The cost of goods sold and the gross profit. All right. In reality, the reason why you have this cost because you bought an inventory. Diba? If you bought an inventory, it is part of the cost of goods sold. Okay? After that, the cost of goods sold eventually, no, you will sell the cost of goods sold and become part of the sales revenue. Unlike in the service company, you have only or you have no inventory. That is the reason why there is no cost of goods sold, there's no gross profit. You have only an expense. That's why automatically revenue, less expenses, you have your net income. And ayun na. All right. Ito yun. Last time, the service company, what we did is cash, you perform services. You remember pa? Anika? Still remember, no? Cash, perform services. Okay. How about you, Cristel? You remember this, no? Perform services. Okay. Kirby? Okay. O hindi na. Alright. So, perform services, then you have your receivables, then you receive cash. Yan. So, that's the service company. Very easy. No? So, meaning, in your strama, no, I recommend that only service company. Why? Because of this, no? Napakadali, no? You have your cash, you perform services, then you have your AR, then you receive cash. Yan. How about your it is sa baba, no? Trading. Okay? You have your cash, then you buy an inventory. Then you have your inventory also. Then you sell it at a markup. Then you have your AR. Then you receive cash. Okay? So, ang pagkakaiba nila, in terms of this is, in the trading company, is you have your merchandise inventory. You have your inventory. Yan. You sell it at a markup. Then, you have your AR. And eventually, you receive cash. Yan. So, medyo mahaba siya, especially in terms of the merchandising company or trading company. All right, inventory system. So there are two types of inventory system. You have perpetual inventory system. Okay? So what do you mean of perpetual inventory system? It is a detailed records of cost of each item are maintained, and the cost of each item sold is determined from the record when the sale occurs. Okay? In layman's term, in the perpetual inventory method, you will record everything. Diba? You will record everything. Okay? Meaning, every day if there's an inventory purchase, you will record that. All right. But yes, it is feasible or possible if you are, for me, no, a small company. But how about if you are San Miguel? If you are a large companies, no? Of course, you cannot do the perpetual inventory system because you record everything, no? Ang dami. Uh, San Miguel pa lang, wow, we have every day a lot of transactions every day, especially of converting the manufacturing, di ba? Okay. And now also sorry, your also periodic. Periodic naman is cost of goods sold is determined only at the end of the accounting period. Number two, no, is very important also that very important is you will consider what periodic inventory count. In the periodic inventory system, you are required to have physical count. Nichelle, sir, how small of the company po SME can do perpetual? Yes, Nichelle, no, SME can do perpetual inventory system. But if you are a large multinational companies, wow, parang if you are part of the inventory, no, parang buong araw mo, no, nasa ano ka, to record na inventory. But the perpetual inventory system, you are not required to conduct physical count kasi nga, you record everything. Okay? While periodic inventory system, you are required to conduct physical inventory count because you need to identify the cost of goods sold. Yan. Sorry. Alright. Cost of goods sold. Yan. So, how do we compute for the cost of goods sold? So, ang sabi, determined at a time each sales occurs at the end of the accounting period. So, meaning, if you are doing perpetual inventory system, automatically, you can record the cost of goods sold. Why? Kasi you have the monitoring. Di ba? But if you follow periodic inventory system, you need to conduct physical inventory count. Later. Alright. How do we determine the cost of goods sold? First is determine first the cost of goods on hand. Alright. Sir, ang perpetual po yung requires physical. No, periodic inventory system job. Perpetual is you record everything, kaya no need to have or uh, to conduct physical count. Perpetual yon. But the periodic is basically you are required to prepare cost of goods sold statement. That's why you are required to have physical count. Good job. All right. Again, what is the steps no in conducting or in preparing your inventory system as the cost of goods sold? Number one, determine first the goods on hand at the beginning of the accounting period. So meaning you have your beginning inventory. Okay. Number two is you add all the purchase. So of course, if you have beginning, you add all the purchase, meaning kulang na yung ano mo, inventory. So you will purchase inventories. Let's say beginning inventory mo is you manufactured let's say sh- uh let's say laptops, no? So you meaning you have 5 pieces of laptop as the beginning inventory. Okay? Then you purchase, let's say, additional 5. So you have 10. 10 now is part of the goods available for sale. At the end of the useful life, sorry, at the end of the inventory, you count that you only have 2 pieces of laptop, meaning 8 laptops is your cost of goods sold. Again, first is determine the goods on hand. Let's say you have 5 pieces of laptop units, meaning you buy and sell laptop, diba? Then you add additional or you purchase. So you purchase a laptop again. So meaning you have now 10, diba? 10 laptops as goods available for sale. No? At the end of the or ending, no, Anna count the laptop, no, laptops, and then he found out that only 2 is the remaining or the goods on hand. So meaning 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 is your cost of goods sold. And naibenta na, no? Tagalog. All right. So far clear about the cost of goods sold? Anong formula? Beginning inventory plus purchases. You have your goods available for sale minus ending inventory. You have your cost of goods sold. That's basically the formula for your cost of goods sold. All right, number 2, no? Explain the entries for the purchase under perpetual inventory system. So, in terms of the purchase of the merchandise inventory under perpetual inventory system, automatically it is to be debited to merchandise inventory. If you have purchase, automatically debited to the merchandise inventory. Okay. Like sales, purchases may be made for cash and for account. So, pwede kang mangutang or you pay on cash. Okay? So, the purchase is normally recorded by the purchaser when the goods received from the seller. Yes, no? The moment that you receive it. All right. The credit purchase naman would be supported by the purchase invoice. Yes. So, you have a purchase invoice. All right. As you notice here, no? Let's say you purchase worth 3.8. Okay? On account. What is the entry? Debit, inventory, 3,800, and the credit accounts payable. All right, go back to our accounting equation. No, inventory is part of your asset, right? If it is part of the asset, when you increase your asset, it is to be debited. We debit ba inventory? The answer is yes. Wait lang ha, medyo mainit lang. Lang ha. Sorry, sobrang init na, no? Again, inventory. Again, you debit inventory. All right. How about accounts payable? Accounts payable is part of your liability, di ba? When you credit liability, meaning it is to be credited. We credit ba accounts payable? The answer is yes. All right. Take note of the explanation to record goods purchased on the account terms 2 10s and 30 from High Point Electronic. Sir, what do you mean of 2 10s and 30? Correct, this is a credit term. But what is 2 10s and 30? Anyone?
Sir, ano, pagka
Alright.
bayaran mo siya
Sige,
within 10
Jackson.
days, may discount. Pagka within
Alright.
30 days, wala.
Alright. Very good. No? So meaning, if you pay on or before 10 days, on the 10th, you have 2% discount. And the credit term is until 30 days. So meaning, 10 here is days, number of days. 30 is number of days. 2 here is the percentage. Okay, meaning, again, you have 2% discount. Okay, if you will pay within or on or before the 10th day after you purchase. So let's say this is May 14 ba? Yes, May 14. So meaning if you pay May 13, sorry, May 13. 14, sorry. If you pay until May 14, you have a 2% discount. But if lagpas na, let's say 11 days na, you have no discount na, okay? And you can only pay until 30th day because the term is until 30th day. Yan. All right. How about naman if you have allowances and returns of purchases? Bakit sa may allowances and returns? Number one, uh, the word is dissatisfied with the merchandise received. No? Ano mo lagi Lazada no? Or sa, Lazada lang ako na lagi. No? Alright, parang iba yung nasa picture no? Sa nangyayari, sa dumarating sa iyo, di ba? Alright, one is basically damage or defective. Kaya ibabalik mo. Okay? Or inferior quality. Yes. Or not in accordance with your specifications. Yan. So meaning, purchaser daw will initiate and request for the reduction of the balance through the issuance of debit memorandum. So you will issue a debit memorandum because you want to return the inventory because of damage nga, inferior quality, or not in accordance with the purchaser specification. Yan. Alright, debit memorandum is a document issued by a buyer to inform a seller that the seller's account has been debited because of unsatisfactory uh, merchandise. Yan. Ayan. So, as you notice here, no? What if you pay daw, di ba, May 8, no? Di ba, it's May 4. So, meaning you pay on May 8. So, meaning you have your discount. So, meaning, uh, 3.8, no? 3.8 times 2%. Tama ba? 3.8 times 2%. Kupit. Ba't mali? Okay, sorry. Let's say you return lang, not a discount. Let's say you return and the cost is 300. All right, 'di ba? What is the entry for the inventory a while ago? We debit inventory 300 and we credit accounts payable of 300. If you have a return allowances, no? It's basically you debit accounts payable because you deduct accounts payable, and you also debit a credit inventory because you deduct also the inventory. Get the point ba? All right. How about okay. So far no question here. Okay? So meaning we just ano lang, we just parang reverse with the entries we're in. You have a 300. All right. No question, ha? All right. From Cristel, sir, merge inventory account na ba gagamitin natin for both perpetual and periodic method? Cristel, no? In terms of perpetual inventory system, we will use uh, inventory, no? Automatically. Pag perpetual ha. But if it is periodic, no? We debit purchases. So later, when we are now in the periodic inventory system. Yan. So we are following now perpetual inventory system for the meantime. All right. Next, what do you mean of free on board? No? Free on board? Okay. All right. Welcome. All right. Welcome. All right. How about free on board? Okay. What do you mean of free on board? All right. There are two kinds, no? Sales agreement should indicate whether the seller or the buyer is to pay for the cost of transporting the goods of the buyer's destination or place of business. Number one, there are two kinds of free on board. FOB shipping point, meaning goods placed free on board the carrier by the seller. Buyer pays the freight cost. So meaning, if it is an FOB shipping point, who is the owner the moment na the seller ship the product? Let's say the seller is from Quezon City, warehouse, Quezon City, and then the buyer is from Santa Rosa, Laguna. All right, the moment na lumabas yan, the moment it is shipped out no, from the warehouse in Quezon City, who is now the owner of the inventory? Buyer or the seller? If it is FOB shipping point, who is the owner? Buyer or seller? Again, the moment na umalis yan, no, the moment na ship out from the warehouse in Quezon City to the to the customer no in Laguna. Who is the owner now? Alright, sabi ni Job, buyer. Alright. The answer here is buyer. No? The moment na umalis yan sa warehouse sa Quezon City, no, the owner of the inventory is now the buyer. Yan. So, something happened in the transportation is of course liable now is the buyer. Yan. How about if it is now FOB destination? Goods placed free on board at the buyer's business. Seller naman pays the freight cost. How about the FOB destination? Who is the owner of the inventory? The moment na umalis yan sa warehouse ng seller. Still, buyer or seller? Yung FOB destination, alam nyo yan. Uh, ano yung sample ng FOB destination? Anyone? Seller pa din.
Shopee,
Very
sure.
Shopee. Shopee, Lazada, Zalora. All of these are FOB destination. Why FOB destination? Because the moment na yan ay umalis sa kanila, still the seller is the owner. 'Di ba? But yan ay nagpunta sa bahay nyo, no? Sa bahay ni Job and ni Crystal. That's the point wherein the inventory will be transferred na to you as the customer. Kaya usually, that the terms is FOB destination, di ba? In terms of the delivery services. Alright. Alright. So far, no question about free on board. Alright, no question. Alright. Accounting for freight cost. So inventory is debited if buyers pays the freight. So if you're the buyer, you will debit the freight, meaning it will be added to the merchandise inventory as part of the inventory. But, sabi, freight out or delivery expenses is to be debited as part of the expense if the sellers pays the freight. Sir, what is the behind of this? Why is it that if the buyer pay for it, it will charge to the inventory? Common sense lang, di ba? Why? Because you buy. You buy for the inventory. The moment na you pay for the freight, of course, it will be added to the inventory. But if the seller pays the transportation, it will become part of the freight out or delivery expense. Okay? By the way, transportation or freight costs as added as part of the inventory is also known as freight in. All right. It's also known as the freight in. All right. Next, accounting for freight costs. As you notice, pag freight in, it is to be debited to your merchandise inventory, and you have your costs and you have your cash. All right. Why? Because the buyer pay for the inventory. All right. Next. Pag yan naman ay binayaran ng seller, it is to be debited as freight costs, okay? And also an expense outright. Yan. All right. Okay. Now, next is the purchase discount. So, why we have a discount? Why do you think is the reason why some sellers parang offers a discount? What do you think is the reason? Anyone? Joel Patrick. Why is it that some companies offers a discount, especially the purchase discount?
Um, I think, sir, more on the marketing portion.
Marketing, yes,
Yeah.
marketing if it is a trade discount, yeah. If
Yeah.
you go to the mall and then outright, no, 75% discount, 50% discount. Yes, very good. It is for marketing. That's a trade discount. Right? How about in the purchase discount?
Sir, hello po.
Okay.
Hello,
I
sir.
believe the answer is nasa ano na. All right. If the buyer meets the MOQ. Yes. Minimum order quantity. The answer is here already. For prompt payment of the balance due. 'Di ba? There are times kasi na hindi nakakabayad. Yan, very good job, no? Para magbayad agad yung seller. 'Di ba kanina, we have 2 tens and 30, no? If you pay within 10 days, you have 2% discount. If not, you are not entitled for any discount. That's the reason why. For the prompt payment of the balance due. Kanina, Patrick, sinabi mo is more on the trade discount for marketing purposes yun. Alright. Meaning, okay? And the buyer calls for the discount is called a purchase discount. Like sales discount, it is also based on the invoice cost less any returns and allowances, if any. Alright, di ba kanina, let's say you have no returns, no? As you notice, no? If you pay for the 3.5, kasi 3.5 yung utang mo, di ba kanina? Your obligation is to pay 3.5. So instead of 3.5, you just pay for 3.430 because you have a discount of 70 pesos. Okay? Again, Crystal, no? If periodic inventory system, it is a purchase discount. And ngayon, perpetual inventory system, we will use a merchandise inventory. Alright. So far clear about this? Alright, clear ha? Alright, thank you, Kirby. Alright, let's say di nakabayad si Kirby. Wala siyang pera. As you notice, no? What you pay is 3,500. You have no 70 pesos. Kanina kasi, di ba, you have 70, 70 as the discount. What if yung 3.5 mo ay million yan? Di ba? Sayang. 70 million sana ang discount mo. Ayan. Sayang. Alright. Ayan. Savings naman obtained by taking discount. Let's say, a buyer should usually take an available discount. If Chelsea Video takes a discount, it pays 70 pesos less in cash. Yes. If it's forgone the discount and invest the 13 at the 3.5 for 20 days at the 10%, it will earn a 19.06. Alright. Savings obtained by taking the discount is basically a 50.90. Ganun lang yan. Parang at least interest lang naman, especially in terms of your discount. Alright. Number 3. Okay? Entries naman, if sales revenue under perpetual inventory system. So kanina, what we discussed is all about cost of goods sold and expenses. Ito naman is more on the sales. Again, as our discussion and the adjustment, we recognize sales when it is earned or when the revenues are earned. Tama ba? All right. How do we know the revenues are earned? Ano nga yun? If you remember my discussion, how do we consider if the sales are earned already? Anna, if you remember. Number one, if there is a, diba, it is part of our adjustment, I believe, adjustment lesson. Anna, how do we consider
Um,
if the revenues are earned? Number one, I think
when
dalawa yan.
when the transaction was made,
All right, very good. When there is a, uh,
transaction.
yes, meaning there is a performance of services, right? Very good, Anna.
Mm.
How about number two? When there's a delivery of goods, right? Delivery of goods to the customers. No, that's basically you have a revenue principle. All right. All sales should be supported by the document such as cash register tape and sales invoice. Yan. All right. And also,